Yep, I'm all packed, ready to go. Just waiting for Bethany here. It's 9:20. We're gonna order our Uber to get us 500 meters from here. And because Bethany's gonna get cold, so instead of walking, it'll save us a bit of time too. So we're just gonna head to the theater where we're gonna have all the talks today. So we're starting off with a couple guys that are pretty good photographers. I looked them up last night and wow, some of their stuff is great. So I'm excited to learn today. Here we go. About to come down.
Day 2.
Day number 2. Oh, meanwhile we're missing our elevator. We're just heading down, grabbing that Uber, and gonna make our way to the theater. See you there. There's our Uber. Grillies. So we just got here. For this theater, it smells like popcorn. Are we going to a little show? Oh, that's if people didn't sign up yet or sign in? Oh, okay. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I got my badge.
There you are.
All good. Thank you. A whole bunch of coffee. There you are again.
There's no SD card in here.
Oh, yeah. It's all good. I was like, send me those.
It's on the demo.
Oh, okay. Too bad.
Yeah.
It's too bad. Those look like decent photos. I don't mind it. But as you can see, they're showing some Nikon stuff. Oh, hey, yeah, go ahead. It's where we landed. It's a good spot. What's down here? Is there anything fun? Or is it just bathrooms? Yeah, it's just the bathrooms. Oh, but it's good lighting. So we just got here to the theater. We're gonna be watching a couple people speak this morning. As you saw, it's like a legit theater. Yeah, we're gonna learn from some of the best today. I'll talk to you a little bit about my takeaways of what I found to be most impactful for us, for our business. We just met this couple who are from Washington actually, and they also have a podcast, and they're husband and wife and do photo video. So we're gonna connect with them today and see if we can connect on our podcast. It'd be cool if we could be on each other's podcast. I'm gonna go back into the theater, maybe get myself another coffee, and we'll listen in on the first speeches that are gonna happen in like 15 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool.
Wow, short and sweet, as always. Taylor Jackson, you guys might know this person. I'm Lindsay Coulter. Thank you guys so much for being here. We're gonna hand it over to Sam. When Taylor and I decided to put all these things together, we basically were like, how do we get an excuse to bring all of our friends here?
So Sam heard the things that I got from him in my notebook is to create a personal challenge for yourself at every shoot. So he talked about how he shot a wedding in a single battery, just to keep his mind really sharp and aware of his surroundings and what he has and his gear. It's a little extreme to do that, but I think it's nice to be able to set personal goals and things that you should look for, challenges for yourself at every shoot that you do, and hopefully that pushes you a little bit creatively, or use something that you don't normally use, either a technique or a piece of equipment or something, right? So I thought that was pretty cool to learn that from him. He talked about if you travel, one of the things, like a piece of gear that he talked about was like a battery powered hard drive to back up. So it's self-sustaining powered hard drive, and you would pop in your SD cards and then it would just copy the stuff to the hard drive, and then you can just keep shooting, and it's very, very compact and good for traveling. He talked about knowing your why. So like, why are you posing them this way? Why are you using the light this way? So knowing kind of like your purpose of doing it, not just doing it because it's like cookie cutter, let's just do the next thing the same way, the same way, the same way. So just think a little bit more about your reasoning behind why you're doing certain things when you're doing photography. Another thing is to practice. So because we're wedding photographers, there's actually not a lot of room to practice weddings other than being at weddings. But he talked about how you should be using, like, he had little mannequins that he would move around, and he would put them in different lighting situations and different poses, and then he would translate that if you really liked the pose or the way the light went, and he showed examples of like how he used it in actual situations. So not just using weddings to practice, but to practice in between weddings or to practice in the off season. Like any other sport, it's something that you will start to lose if you don't start to use it. Sam also described this AI tool that he coded himself. It's actually text message based, so you would take a photo of a specific background or of people or a pose or something, and you would send it off to a phone number, and then it would text you back AI generated 4 different images of like different poses, of different ways to use the light in the specific room. It kind of interprets the photo in different ways, so it could really give you some creative stuff, and then you use those AI generated images to then fuel your creativity and give you ideas of what you can do with your subject or with the surrounding area. And last but not least, Sam gave us 5 L's to look for when doing photography. So that would be light, lines, layers, look, and luck. And he broke those down into each one, but I'm not going to do that for you. But it's just really about light. He was really conscious, like light is the first thing that you have to look for. So, and that was kind of a theme throughout a lot of the people talking yesterday, was light is super important, and manipulating light can really enhance photos. There you go. That's all I need for that one. So we just finished hearing from Sam Hurd. If you don't know him, you should follow him on Insta. He's an awesome photographer. My number one thing that I learned from his talk is pay attention to the light and how it reflects off of stuff. We have like a 10-minute break, so I'm just gonna grab some coffee and get back in there because we have another talk coming, and I can't wait to learn a little something from that one. Making some friends?
It's my husband Luke. He's trying to do some behind the scenes. I saw your vlog. I can't believe you turned that around so fast.
Hey, this is Sam. He did the presentation for the first one, and he killed it. You know, he did a really good job. I learned so much from him. So now we're going into the next one, and we'll see what else we can learn. Jacob Clark was the number 2 speaker yesterday in the morning, and he was talking more about kind of corporate work, photo and video, how to land clients, how to pitch to corporate clients, and don't just send them like, hey, I do photo video, how can I help you? It was a little bit more in depth about how you specifically could help them. Like you would send them like a PDF or a presentation about the problem that they have, the solution, and then like what their company would look like afterwards. So I thought that was pretty neat to be able to like show them the benefits and the advantage of hiring you and the different things that you could bring to their attention. Like you could save them time, or you could save them money, or here's, you know, all the revenue or all the advantages of why these photos or videos would excel your company or would bring you to the next level. He also talked about shoot what you want to get paid for. So his example was he shot a hat. So this like hat company, he just got a friend of his to model, and he went out and shot her and wearing this hat. And then in the next process, he got a hat and a blanket, and he went and shot some cool like people having fun with like wearing the hats and using the blanket, and then would reach out to those companies and say, hey, here's a couple shoots that I did with the hat and the blanket. If you want something similar, let me know if you want me to do some work for you, kind of thing. And then that ended up landing him another client who actually reached out to him. He didn't have to go and work for it. And that client then got him to do some of the corporate stuff and the launch of their brand. So you have to start shooting the things that you want to shoot, and then you make your own luck in this business. So something important if you're going to be trying to do corporate stuff is if you're reaching out to clients, is you have to solve an issue for them. Either they don't really have the time to create any of this content, or the lack of clarity, they don't really know what kind of content that they should be creating, or the lack of creativity is like they know what kind of content they want to create, but they don't know how to create in a way that is eye-catching and that is worthwhile for people to, because everyone has like such short attention spans that you have to be able to be creative and be catchy. So some companies just like don't have that, and here is where we come in and we can do that for them. He also said something that was really important to ask corporate clients if you are talking to them or in the talks is, what has been your experience with past vendors? And I thought that was a really cool question because it reveals some of the pain points or some of the advantages, like some of the good things that the other vendors have done for this company. So it's a really good probing question to get some of the answers that you may be looking for to be able to like leverage to do your work a little bit better, or to be able to get your way in because you can solve some of those problems that the vendor also created. Two more things that he talked about was, one is being comfortable being told no. So being comfortable being rejected, essentially. 70% of people are going to give you no's, but I mean, that's actually a pretty decent number. If you're going to approach 10 people and you get 3 clients, that's a big deal if you can get 3 corporate clients doing that. So obviously you have to just be able to take rejection and just move on to the next thing, and don't take it personally. It's business, and you have to just take it, grow, learn, and then apply it to the next thing. I'm gonna finish off with one more thing. Is he talked about how should you charge yourself? Like, how much should you charge people, especially in corporate clients? Because sometimes you may think that they don't have a lot of money, but corporations spend a lot. It's business money, right? It's not like a wedding where it's like someone's personal money that they have to pay you. It's like corporations and businesses that are paying you, and they do have money. So he said the formula you should take is like, how many hours in a year would you like to work? Like editing, everything, you know, like doing out the admin, just like how many hours do you want to work? And then how much of a salary do you want to make at the end of the year? So you take as many hours as you're going to work, the amount of hours you want, and then you get an hourly rate. And then that hourly rate, you just estimate on the project. Oh, this project I think is going to cost me, 40 hours of my life. So you have an hourly rate times 40 hours. So corporate client, this is how much I believe the project is going to cost. And then he said that you have to then just follow up with like a next steps of, hey, here's my pitch. Here's like how I take you from A to Z. And for this to work, I need an answer from you by this date. And I think that creates some urgency. And if you really position yourself as the expert, then they're already going to know that like they're going to have FOMO, and they're not going to want to not hire you because you did such a good job telling them like, here's where you are now and here's where I'm going to take you. And like, you need this. You need this. The last presentation right before going to lunch was Lachlan from Focal. And Focal is a company who builds website, but he was talking to us about an ad he ran for Lindsay, who's one of the host photographers at this conference. They just showed us like the statistics of, here's the ad, here's what we do, and she got about 40 inquiries in a month. So obviously the ad is quite good at getting people to inquire, but the quality of the inquiries, that makes a huge difference. So she said out of those 40, she ended up booking 2 weddings, which is pretty good. At her price point, 2 weddings is a decent amount of money. It's kind of like the same as us. If we can book 2 weddings from ads and not any of this like organic SEO, that would be really good, because booking like 4 a month would be ideal. Getting 2 from ads, especially with an ad spend of like less than $300, made a lot of sense. So they just told us like tips and tricks on just like how to run an ad and how to make it successful. Just stopping for lunch.
Social aspect of just
So we just ordered our lunch. We have to be back in like 18 minutes. So we're hoping to get it, eat. Got a salad for Bethany. I got a burger, obviously. And we're gonna jump back in. We have a couple more talks this afternoon, and then we're hoping to go get dinner with our friend Jeff, who officiated a wedding last year. He lives here in Waterloo. So we just finished with Brittany. She is a high-end luxury event planner and does corporate events as well, and weddings. So it's super neat to, oh, I like lost all my lighting here from these sticks. Maybe I need to bump it up here. You need to be able to show that you have attention to detail is what you kept pointing to. So make sure that your details and that your work really reflects what it is that's going to attract the higher luxury brands. And yeah, if you want to get into that space, you have to make sure that you tailor your stuff so that it gets you to the next level.
This is so sick, I put Picasso to shame, bro. Off camera flash, my secret weapon in the game. I light up the scene, ain't no natural like the same. I'm the wizard. blazing up photography, my skills insane. With every click I freeze time, capturing love's flame. I'm the man.
So I thought that was my like WWE entrance moment. And so that whole song I made with AI just like during the lunch break, which is amazing that you can actually do that.
Jason Vincent, the last person to present, we really connected with him. I think a lot of people were blown away with the amount of creativity this guy has, with the amount of he uses like off-camera flash and constant lights so much, and like mirrors and texture and like all these things, and he showed us so much of his work. It was a slideshow of like all his work, and he would just go to the next picture. This is how I did this one. Like I used the flash here, I did this, and then he would show like before and after of like, here's what the picture looked like and here's what the scenario looked like from, you know, taking a photo with his phone. And sometimes it was just like simple little things, and the way he manipulated the light and used off-camera flashes made the photo like really stand out and look super cool. One of the things that he instantly started talking about right away was that he never recreates any of his own work. So even if a bride or somebody approaches him and says, hey, I want to like redo this shot that you did because I love it so much, he would just take that shot and it would inspire him to create something that's a little bit different. One of the biggest things that he just talked about again was like seeing the light. So seeing the different sources of light and using shapes like doorways, windows, mirrors in order to separate different colors, either because he uses a lot of like, he called it CTO gel, I think he called it. I wrote it down here. Anyways, it's like something that you can put on top of your flash to make it orange or blue. So he would use these different colors to create a lot of contrast on his photos. And then he would use light to be able to capture, and he would do like drags. Essentially, you would just take a photo and the flash would make the subject sit still, and then when you would drag at low shutter, the other light sources would then kind of create lines and blurs. So it was super cool, super creative. He showed us like 20 photos of he took at the same place, this one venue that he shoots at a lot, and every photo was different, and he explained what he did that was different than the next one. It was just cool to see because we do shoot at the same venue over and over and over again. He's just reminding us that you shouldn't be complacent doing the same thing and like on autopilot. So you should always be using your brain to take yourself to the next level, because it is an art. It's something that we need to do. So we're gonna take a lot of this stuff and we're gonna bring it back into this wedding season this year, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to see what we come up with. So we literally just finished the whole day of talks. It's a lot of stuff that in Ottawa, it actually would make you stand out a lot. Like there are some photographers that do cool like artsy stuff, but nothing to the level of the people that we saw talk today. So Photo Summit Day 2, just finished all the talks, and now we're doing a social happy hour at Kentucky. It's a bar place here. We just got here, and I'm gonna go inside, socialize a little bit, and have some fun. Couple more chaps. Come on in.
Made it to the right place?
Yeah, I don't know where Bethany ended up going. She was like, I'm saying bye to people. And then, still not here. So we're just about to leave here, the bar, Kentucky. And we're gonna go and get our car and go for dinner with one of our friends, Jeff Mack. He's an officiant here. I gotta turn this down. He's an officiant here in Waterloo. We met him last year in November doing a wedding, and we're just gonna go out for dinner with him and his wife because we haven't met her yet, so it'll be kind of fun to do that. And we are hopefully gonna, I think we're going to also a wedding venue that they know or do weddings at. So we're gonna go and check that out. I'm still waiting for Bethany, so we'll see what we do when she's around. I'm just gonna wait for her to come back. All right. Whoa, yeah, almost hit me in the head, and it's dark. Okay, we just left Kentucky's, and now we're heading back, getting our car. Gonna go for dinner with Jeff Mack and his wife, right? And Michelle, right? So he's an officiant, she's a wedding planner, and they own the DTK Chapel, which is in downtown Kitchener, hence DTK, which I only learned a little bit later on. And yeah, we're just gonna go have dinner at what?
Langdon Hall.
Langdon Hall. We're gonna go check that out.
Wedding venue.
Yeah, it's a wedding venue in this area.
Yes, it is.
How far is it? Do you know?
No idea.
No idea. We're just gonna go on an adventure. This wraps up kind of day 2. We're just gonna chill the rest of the evening. So much talent today. So much talent we saw. Photographers, corporate video,
A wedding planner.
wedding planner.
I even cried.
She cried.
I mean, it doesn't take a lot, but that got me real. It
Yeah.
was like a perfect storm.
I know. It's fine. It's fine. Let's see if our car's gonna be here. Oh yeah, there it is. Perfect.